Hello students, the subject which we are discussing right now is element of design. So this is the subject which I'll be teaching you in the fifth semester. My name is Kulwinder Singh and this subject is all about design. So you may have studied the the drawing procedure earlier. So design and drawing, they are bit obviously sound same, but they have the differences. Where the drawing is the reflection of the language, how a product has to be manufactured, but elements of design or the design is beyond that. It means uh, preparing a drawing prior to the manufacturing, like various tolerance, fits, limits should have to be applied, and various factors have to be considered in the mind, and also the material factors, which material should be the best for the particular product, and depending upon the forces. So this is the basic difference between these two. So the bottom line is that uh, whereas the drawing is concerned, it is just meant for the manufacturing purpose. It is given to given to an operator, and he manufactures as per the specification. So basically, elements of design or the design is the ability of an engineer to design a particular component to be able to withstand the forces, withstand the various torques, and also should be economical to the industry. So this is the basics of a design. You may, in a simple language, refers to it like elements of design is basically a design of an element of any element. You may consider like crankshaft, connecting rod, gears, or piston. So you know that there are various forces which are acting upon that. So we have to consider that in mind. For an 800 cc engine, that forces might be different. For petrol engine, that might be different. For a diesel engine, that might be different. And for a two-wheeler, that might also be different. So we have to consider these forces into account. Also, various factors such as like the cost, which is like how you going to manufacture a product, because we cannot manufacture a product that will cost the industry more, and we cannot afford to buy a two-wheeler at the cost of 4 lakh for the basic segment. So we need to know what are the basic requirements. So now moving on further. So let us move on further. We will be discussing our unit 1, and that is the introduction chapter, which includes the topics as you may have seen. You can see on the screen or as well. Design consideration, design procedure, classification of design, standardization, interchangeability, material properties, material selection, and economics. Few of you might have heard about in the previous classes of yours, but we will be discussing certain topics today. We will be covering few of the unit 1 of the topic we will be covering today. So let's move on. So the topic we will be covering today is the design consideration. So what are the design consideration? When you design a particular part, It may be a crankshaft, it may be a gear, it may be a shaft, it may be a key, or it may be a coupling. You name it, but design consideration remains the same for all of them. There are basic principles of design, or you can say the design consideration, we have to keep in mind so that our product remain intact, it does not fail. This includes various factors. Few of them, these factors I have listed here, so that you can easily understand them. First, I will quote them by the title. As you can see, load and stress, climatic change and chemical influence, safety, cost, weight, shape and size, and surface life. Now we will be discussing each of them. First of all, I would like to say we will be discussing this load and stress. Now, as you know, load and stress, what does that mean? Every mechanical part, every moving part does have a different loading condition and stressing condition. So you might have heard about in the previous class also, but if you have not, let me clarify you again. Have you known about like tensile load, uh, shear load, and a compressive load? These are the basic loading conditions that we know. Now the basic loads act accordingly to the purpose of a machine or an element which it serves. Sometime a reciprocating engine, you might have seen, it moves reciprocately, right? And the nut we tight, it has a shearing effect on that, on a particular plate on which we tight it. So every piece of material, every piece of a product faces different kind of loading condition as well as the stress condition. So we have to keep that in mind, which conditions are applied to a particular product. Some product may have gone under like tensile forces, some product may have gone under compressive forces, some product may have gone under the shear force. So accordingly we have to design a product, because the forces are acting differently on that particular product. And now the next we will be discussing it in a detailed manner as we will move further in the chapters, how these conditions varies, right? As you can see, shaft twists, right? So we have to determine the diameter of the shaft as per the torquing moment, right? As per the torque. So, and same is the question with the joints. We have to determine the particular size of a product as it has undergone under load. So both are different situations. So we need to manage these things. Here sometimes we have to calculate the stresses. Sometimes we need to calculate the diameter. Sometimes we need to calculate the lengths. So we will talk about this in as we move further on the topic. Now we will consider the next topic, that is the climatic and the chemical influence. As you are aware about the fact that material undergoes some chemical changes as far as the climatic changes. Now we are aware that the ferrous material such as iron, steel and all that, cast iron, they goes under the chemical changes also and the climatic changes also, and certain metal also. When you expose them to certain chemicals, they corrode, they may rust, and there are certain gases, there are certain salts, acids, and So, and any electrolytic inaction, any electrolytic, you can say that uh, what you say is that ki any electrolytic interaction can cause the trouble. So we need to manage that. So how will we will be managing that? We will be managing that by selecting a particular type of material for a particular type of a product. Say you need to restore a chemical, we may not be able to restore in an iron or in a particular material bag, but we might be able to restore it in a plastic bag. So it is because it is interactive. Like it does not have any action against those chemical agents. So we need to keep that in mind. And now moving on further, if we talk about the safety, safety is the prime more concern. Uh, Safety means different things for different individuals, but when it comes to the design purpose, obviously the worker who is operating a particular type of a machine, he needs to be safeguarded. So there are certain parts that are moving in a machine, like a blade. You may have seen the grinder, right? So these are parts which has to be covered. There are certain electrical component also which needs to be insulated, so that we can safe ensure the work operations, so that the work safety is ensured. There are various chemicals which are which can harm the worker. So we need to manage a proper safety measures according to that. We can do so by managing we can do so by managing a guard, some sort of sensors, and fire extinguisher measures, and all that. And also by the traditional, now the modern practice is that you have the sensors, which means when any human touches there, so that your limb does not affect that particular part, does not affect that like blade or something. So it stops all of a sudden. So we need to manage these things. So safety of the worker is also a concern. So next thing we are moving on to is the cost. We never, as a material engineer or as a design engineer, we never want to buy a product which is too costly. Suppose we have to manufacture something, and we are buying it, we don't have that product domestically available, and this will cost us more. And certain parts also, it depends upon the cost of the selling also. Like you want to manufacture a 2000 cc vehicle, and say you also want to manufacture a 8800 cc vehicle, sorry. So for both of these vehicles, the material should be different. We may choose to have a little uh, cheaper version in 800 cc vehicle rather than in the 2000 cc, as it will add to the cost. And if and obviously the customer of 800 cc will not buy that. So we need to manage that. So cost is also a prime concern. And next comes to the weight. Weight is the primary concern now these days, Now when you design sports car, when you design aeronautical vehicles, although this is out of the context of the topic, we need to manage the weight. We need to manage the weight, and weight also indirectly, uh, you can say, is dependent upon the cost also. So when it comes to the weight, we prefer to have the lighter version, uh, but its strength should match the required capability which we desire. So the weight of the vehicle or weight of the certain article is also considered. More the lighter is, the more the efficiency is. So that is why the weight has to be considered, but it has to also, we need to check it as per the cost also, how much the budget the company is having and what products we are manufacturing. Now moving on to the next, the shape and the size. Certain products, you can easily amaze that shape and size also affect certain products. Certain, you can say that it is very important. Like you have the hollow shape, you may have saved you may have saved the material price, but you cannot always compromise, right? Sometimes you need to have a vehicle with a proper, like, that can withstand the force, but also on the other hand, sometimes we need to make it light. So as compared to the solid material, hollow material, like in the next few further chapters, we will be discussing about the solid and the hollow shafts, both transmitting torques, and they are equally effective. So that depends upon the factors. Certain shapes are difficult to manufacture. Uh, Say you have a die or a design or a product which is very difficult to manufacture, whose shape is very difficult, and it will take some time, it will take some human efforts and also the machining effort. So the also this will further increase the cost. So we have to stick on to the, as far as the simple and the far more feasible design and the shapes, as far as this is concerned. And as far as the size is concerned, there should be a relation we should maintain to have a particular standard sizes. Standard sizes are those sizes that are easily available in the market. So when you design a particular type of product, say a nut you design, and that size is not easily available in market, so that will lead to the failure of that particular product. Because obviously when the customer cannot get that product, it will lead to the failure or dispopularity of that product. So we have to maintain the shape and size as per the industrial, as per the customer requirement. And moving on to further, we have the service life. Service life should be the maximum as per we have granted. What does that mean, the service life? Service life means, like, if I have to manufacture a bulb, say if it is a bulb, it should at least be able to work on that condition, under same condition, for a particular period of time. If it does not, if you purchase a bulb, for rupees 200 and it fails after 1 month, then it is not okay. And the same, if you talk about the automobile engineering, if you go on and buy a particular type of product, say a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler, if you buy a two-wheeler, and if you need to change your tires after 2 months, that means the service life is that is not acceptable. So if they have quoted that a service life is 5 years, that means it should stick to that. So we need to watch these things while designing particular type of product. Thank you. Have a nice day.